Okay, in tutorial 4 we're going to take a look at the character properties. So if you go ahead and go to Scenes, inside of Scenes just go down to tutorial 4 and double click on it. So for this one what we're going to do, if you just go and click on the character in the Scene tab, inside of here on the player in your hierarchy tab, if you click on this, you'll notice over in the inspector you have an option for your player controls, which we've already worked on. The next one that we need to look at is going to be the player properties. Now, the player properties, if you notice inside of our setup over here, player properties are basically where we're going to set and store the pickup items and the player state. So just as a quick kind of go through for what we're going to try to accomplish in this for this component, is going to be the different states that Mario's in. For instance, Mario will have a death state that he's in when he turns small, when he turns large, and when he goes into a fire state. Now, for the standard game, of course, there's a lot more states he can turn into and he can change into. However, these will be the ones we focus on. Also, for the states themselves, the idea is we'll probably put these into an enumeration, and then we'll need a way to actually call them, and we'll set a starting state and then be able to call through that state different ones. Okay. Now, along with those, the additional kind of properties and elements that we need for it will be lives. So Mario will have a set of lives. Now, the lives themselves, again, there's different ways these can be represented. Part of the actually, when we get into the HUD and those options, we'll show the different types of systems we could use. Along with the lives, we can have keys. It would be an optional for this one. And then coins, collecting those, projectiles for the fire. The sockets is basically just saying that there'll be two game objects on the left and the right of them, and that's where the instantiation is going to occur for the fireball to come out. Alright, and then after that we also have a basic material swap, texture swap that we're going to do, which will allow you to see the Mario character in the red and blue, and then if he gets into the fireball state, he'll turn into the white texture for him on the outfit. And then along with that one, we'll also be able to have an option to be able to change the state of the player at any point. Alright, an extra one that we'll just briefly touch on as well, will be the ability to set a number for extra life. If you actually collect enough coins, then you get the extra life element. And then along with that, we're going to take a look at a couple of different ways to call things. So instead of calling it some of our options like adding keys and coins, instead of calling them directly, instead of writing them directly into the update function, we're just going to actually write separate functions and call them up through the update. Alright, so that's going to be basically all we do. The last little part we'll work on as well is just adding a add component menu. That way we can select this from the menu. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started here and begin working over the basic player properties.